did you learn that?
Pretty young.
Yeah.
When my first grade teacher suggested that I go on, Ritalin, probably around that.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, because, I mean, there's certain aspects where it's like I'm still uncovering things about, it's like, okay, yeah, I should have admitted that to myself years ago.
Gary Vaynerchuk's always been a great proponent for, like, lean into the areas are big strengths for you, and, where possible, delegate, outsource the weaknesses.
And you just contradicted yourself because you said you don't believe in hustle culture, and then you said Gary Vaynerchuk. The same sentence. So
yeah, it's kind of a I don't believe in hustle culture for the sake of the marketing component to it. I do believe that to really be successful in business, though, like, it's not, a lot of people think they get the idea and then they just build it, and then they come, and it's like, you have to build a business out of this. You are going to sleep less, you're going to work more, you're going to make this money, and you're going to have gray hair. Yeah, most likely. And if you find a better, faster, greater way to do it, then again, hit me up on LinkedIn and tell me what you got going on. I'd love to hear about it. So
love it. So you're running your own business. How long did you do that, and what was the outcome?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole stretch of time there was from when I started with it and fell into it, from 20 to I was able to. We made a lot of changes. We renegotiated a lot of contracts. We changed the business model. We started to see, the end of the pandemic and the funding there. We got it to a point where it was going to be a viable business. It was going to survive. Had a lot of this is another thing, having really difficult conversations with your founding team about, are you still, like, in love with this? Are you happy as a person, like, doing what you're doing anymore, right? Because there's the money component to it. But what's all that worth if you're not getting out of bed any morning as excited as you used to be, or if you're really attracted to something else. So for me, was able to make some really tough internal decisions and then have some really difficult conversations with I'm really fortunate that it worked out the way that it did. So I sold my stake in the company in 2020. I stayed on as kind of a, silent, call me if you need me type advisor, but was able to pursue other things. And that's where the fun really started to started a family, traveled the world a little bit, and then started going really headfirst in the world of technology, with a lot of practical, hard-fought, blood, sweat, and tears. Please don't do this. If I could talk to you for 10 minutes and save you a year of your life, but are you happy to,
Yeah. So had the opportunity to exit and, sell your shares of the company, and then you jumped into starting a family and growing in that realm. You have kids now, and tell me a little bit about the personal side.
Sure. So I have a soon-to-be 2-year-old son. It's the greatest thing ever, right? You talk about a reason to get out of bed in the morning. He knows that he's 2, and he's already opening doors basically, and he's coming to get you. So that's been really wonderful. It's been a lot of work to get to where we are as a family, which has been great. And I'm really fortunate to met my wife when I did, and she was there through all the tough times. At one point in time, she had to take me to the ATM, and I had to borrow $100 from her to, fix an overdrafted account. At the same time, we were, not missing payroll for 25 people, right? And now...
That's a story a lot of people don't realize goes on in the back end from the business owner's perspective.
The stress and the toll at home, right? Because you're going to bring that energy home to an extent. So very fortunate to have met her when I did. She helped with a lot of behind the scenes stuff, kind of resetting the direction. And why even, like, what's the reasoning behind it, right? So nowadays, I have the good fortune again to work at a company where I get to live vicariously through working with a lot of founders. So I get to touch the adrenaline a little bit,
But you still get to go to sleep at night.
I can, not have to worry about running payroll. So
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And as you're entering this phase and you've had some of the experiences that you had, you've had the chance to kind of reflect a little bit Talked a little bit about maybe what you would change or some advice that you'd give, but what's something that you would maybe give yourself back in the day if you could give yourself a piece of advice?
Oh man, take it easy on yourself would be a big thing. Like, I'm really proud that I never, gave up. But I also like, I was my own worst boss. I was the worst boss ever to myself. Really was. So give yourself, you'd be so surprised if you gave yourself a long weekend, even take Friday, Monday off and go in the woods and come back and look at the problems that you have in your business from 10,000 feet, how much faster you can solve them. I didn't do a very good job of that back then. There was just always a fire to put out, is what it felt like. And looking back now, maybe if I had taken a different approach to some things, we would have gotten where we wanted to be faster or with less headache. And
At the time, though, it seems so counterproductive, right? It's like, no, I got to solve this problem. So why would I not solve it?
burning money, baby. You can't be burning money, but you realize the cost of time is so much more than whatever your run rate is right now. Like the cost of time is everything. And then you think about the speed to market equation, right? So, if I had, the way that we had built things, if I had went out and, we bootstrapped all of it. So, if I had gone out and raised $5 million and had a team of 50 build everything in half the time, would we have been able to get to revenue faster? Would we have been able to beat other competitors to market? So that ability to really, like, you got to be in the weeds, you got to be in the trenches, you have to be doing all the dirty work of running a business. But please be a better boss to yourself.
Yeah. It's a good reminder. And like I said, a lot of times it doesn't seem like you're being a bad boss to yourself when you're just engulfed in it and you seem to at the time feel like you enjoy it, right? But sometimes that does lead towards bad health, either health physically or health in relationships, or health with your employees. So good reminder. Thanks for that. Maybe I needed a little bit of that reminder today, but as you think through what you're doing now and how much you've learned about technology, I mean, you and I have had some great conversations about AI, so we're going to go into this just for a couple minutes here.
Let's do it.
But if you think about some of the changes that have impacted, or let's look back at the business that you started, the technology that was available at that time. You mentioned Amazon's just getting started. You're kind of using eBay and everything at that time. Now the access to technology that we have today, how would that, if you had access to the technology today, how would that have changed the approach, the way of doing business, the way your startup functioned early on?
Oh, that's a great question, and specific to that business, it's one thing, specific to just like, how do you build a business in general? It's a different animal.
Scratch, yeah.
I mean, so much of the manual data entry related processes can be automated. RPA is not new. Generative is really the thing that broke the mold. And this cracks me up, and maybe this is a segue, so everybody bear with me to your question. Siri and Apple, they came out with the ability to talk to your phone, like 10 years ago or something, even longer, right? Like, so this isn't necessarily new technology. What made it new was that it's far higher quality output, but then the output medium itself, the user experience of ChatGPT, is what set it apart from existing solutions just like it. And it was because it gave it to you via text, right? You can copy text, you can paste it, you can build an RPA, you can build a workflow off of the output, right? Now you just hook to the API and, input and output can happen autonomously. So it changes everything. You look at the major players, just explosive growth from companies like Cursor and Bolt and, Claude's model, right? So we built a lot of custom technology to run our business. You could build that stuff now with a tool, right? You tell the tool to build it. Now there's a big difference between a little, very nice, easy to use app and like a robust enterprise platform, right? Very different for now, but it's going there. It's getting there over time. So technology has just changed the game entirely. I mean, and I specifically live on the island of tech and innovation at the firm, and I sell with, to SaaS companies, right? So I'm helping the SaaS disruptors do the disrupting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it with the services of a firm that's been around a long time. And it's funny, the ones who need the help the most can really afford it, which sucks. So we do a lot of really great things like office hours, and we really try to help early stage the best that we can, but it's getting easier to build businesses, not harder. 'Cause you can just talk to the tool and build out your application and test it in the market, right, with social media and influencer marketing and all these different things. So everything has changed about how I would have approached it back then to how I would approach it now. It's very, very different.
So you mentioned building a business is easier. You feel like it's easier to start with an idea and just, you mentioned how early on you created, you went into the problem of, hey, we need to have a website with millions of products on it. How are we going to do this? And you're able to do it, by scraping and, creating a path to do it. Well, now technically, if you have an idea over a weekend, you can have a website built and you can have products on a website just with leveraging some of the available tools. Do you feel like this is going to cause more startups and ideas to come to market faster, more people to get involved in startups that maybe shouldn't? Like, what are some of your thoughts on that?
I mean, you can see it in the numbers. I'm not like the macro econo analysis guy, right? But high level, there are more and more startups per capita in the U.S. than anywhere else in the world, and on an exponential rate of growth than ever before in all industries. You're just smashing AI into every existing industry, right? So there's tremendous disruption in a few critical areas right now, right? Like knowledge work is one where, you think about certain services that you may used to have to pay for now that you can just talk to ChatGPT and get the same quality of an output for, right? But folks are building, specific UIs on top of a fine-tuned model to serve a niche service industry. So you have tech-enabled services, which is just, Stephen, you're great. You've got a company where you guys are exceptionally good at, AutoCAD and design work and product design and all those things, right? So you might now be able to produce the same amount of service to a larger customer base with a smaller employee count. But the employees that you do have will be far more productive because they're using AI tools. Okay. It's really interesting to see where this is going to kind of proliferate out long term. I think the industry giants have huge advantages, but there's a lot of moats you can build as a small player coming into the market too.
So this is something I've been spending a lot of time thinking about as we're talking through large organizations that have been around for a long time that do have a large group of individuals that work for them, large teams.